Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some Madden 19 franchise. Playing as the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. It's the battle of 3-0 teams, and I figure now I will start doing the official intro for Madden 19. I used to not do it, I used to just skip right to the gameplay, but here we are in Glendale, Arizona. Gonna be taking on the Arizona Cardinals here today, and they're also 3-0 just like us. We have been a more resilient 3-0 team though, getting some favorable matchups early, but today we face the Arizona Cardinals, a division rival. We get to see Patrick Peterson, and this team has actually been playing well. Looking at the stats earlier, as you see right there, there's a look at David Johnson and what he did last week. 2 touchdowns, 158 yards on 20 carries. And there's Coach Pete Carroll trying to get Russell Wilson that pep talk. And Sebastian Janikowski now going to get ready to kick it off to the Arizona Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are as pumped as we are. The Rams losing there on the bottom of your screen actually helps both of these teams out. Who's going to take the momentum? We'll find out as Seabass kicks it off to Christian Kirk, the rookie receiver out of A&M. Christian Kirk, a highly touted wide receiver out of Texas A&M, finds himself going in the second round. And there you guys have it. Sam Bradford, who's actually having a pretty good year, only 4 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. 2 tight ends. David Johnson's in the backfield, and it looks like somebody jumped on the line of scrimmage. We're going to have to hear what it was. Actually, I did turn down the volume on the game, so that's kind of on me. But, you know how it is. It's 1st and 15. Sorry about taking off the headset. Just wanted to make sure everything was good. 1st and 15 right here. Sam Bradford going to hike it to David Johnson. Finds a crease, runs over Alexander, but he gets 6 yards on the play. And they're going to show you the stats last week. On the year, he has 300 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on 58 attempts. So last week for him was definitely a breakout game in terms of his season stats. 2nd and 9 right here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end. The tight end is going to be Seals Jones. No Bryce Butler in this game. He will not be playing. Bradford going to hike it. He is going to throw it to Fitzgerald underneath, brought down by Justin Coleman. And now here we are, guys. 3rd down. The first 3rd down of the day. It's 3rd and 5. I did make an adjustment with the volume. That's why you didn't hear the ref talk right there. So we're technically not going to know what the penalty is. That's on me. I forgot to change it when I tried to record a different video. But here's Bradford. He throws it to his 3rd tight end, who's actually a backup offensive lineman. He was open, so I mean, I would throw it too. You got to throw it to the open guy, but didn't come up with it right there. And now Andy Lee, the longtime 49er punter, now with the Cardinals, is going to punt it back deep to Tyler Lockett, who is eligible for a contract extension. We'll have to see how much money he can earn. But Lockett going to spin right into a tackle, brought down at the 30-yard line. Nice little return right there. And the Seattle Seahawks coming into this game, they are 3-0. A more resilient 3-0 team, however. They pretty weak on the offensive line. Could probably use more receiving help. And, of course, their tight end is Ed Dixon. And Russell Wilson right there gets sacked by Marcus Golden. It looked like he was looking for Baldwin, but he is going to be taking on Patrick Peterson, who I believe is the slot corner. Or no, he's actually just assigned the lineup wherever Baldwin is. So, interesting to see. Rashad Penny going to get the carry, and he is met by Dayon Buchanan. Doesn't really get a whole lot right there. It's 3rd and 13. What are the Seattle Seahawks going to do? They bring in CJ Prosise. It's a 3-receiver, 1 tight end set. And yeah, man, Patrick Peterson is looking to shadow Doug Baldwin. And 3rd down and 13. There is Tyler Lockett, number 16, getting a gain of 19 yards on the play. Russell Wilson had just enough time to get that ball off, waited for his receiver to make his break, and there you have it. 1st and 10 right here. He's going to find Trey Madden underneath his fullback, and he is going to pick up about 9 yards right there. Trey Madden trying to get involved more in the passing game. He has looked good in practice overall, like he's starting to get a little bit better, but we'll have to see how it translates on the field. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers again. Patrick Peterson is going to be covering Baldwin the entire time, it looks like. And Rashad Penny, nice spin move. Almost broke away there, but he is brought down on the play after about a gain of, I want to say, about 11 yards. He's brought down by Ray Manaluga, the longtime Cincinnati Bengal. It's going to be hard getting Doug Baldwin the ball because he is going up against Patrick Peterson. And on this first drive, it looks like they may avoid him. But here's Brandon Marshall underneath. Deion Buchanan couldn't get there. But it is going to be a gain of 15. And the chains just keep moving if you're Seattle. Chris Carson is in the game. We have ourselves a Chris Carson sighting. As you see, Russell Wilson is going to hand it off right there. And they're going to pick up 10 yards. Chris Carson moving the chains. And I think that may be the one weakness is probably that run defense for Arizona. I feel like it's going to be a chess match, and you're going to have to figure out how can we get the upper hand on these guys. And I think they're slowly figuring it out. Nice spin move there by Penny, but it only gets him about a yard. Yeah, it's only 1 yard. 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line. Chris Carson is going to come back into the game along with Trey Madden. So nice little substitutions right there. Wilson going to hand it off to Carson. Not as lucky this time. He only gets 2 yards. Brought down on the play by multiple Cardinals defenders. 3rd down. 7 yards to go. You got to find a play that works. And CJ Prosise is now in the game. They're going to motion him out as a receiver. Keep your eyes on that matchup right there. And there's Russell Wilson just scrambling out. He's going to throw it to Ed Dickson, and he gets denied by Deion Buchanan. Nice closing speed by Buchanan. 1 yard. And Pete Carroll looking through his plays. And he says, you know what, we're just going to take the points. It's a divisional round. It's a divisional matchup where he's facing off against an NFC West opponent. And the kick gets blocked. Arizona, one of the better special team units in the NFL. I'm just lost for words right now. Budda Baker is going to get a touchdown. What a play right there from Budda Baker. And that's what the Cardinals can do. They are very good on special teams, resilient defensively, and offensively they have that boy David Johnson. So the Seahawks, who were trying to settle for 3, end up giving up 7 to the Arizona Cardinals, and it puts the offense right back on the field. Andy Lee going to kick things off right here to Rashad Penny. Penny, who was just on the field earlier, now has to make a kick return of sorts. He is going to get to the 30-yard line. Brought down on the play by Ray Manaluga. Really, it's no one to blame except for maybe the kicker. I don't know. I mean, it was just a great play by the defender, Budda Baker. And Rashad Penny's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, brought down by Chandler Jones, who last year led the NFL in sacks. We'll see what he does this year. 2nd and 9 right here. What's Russell Wilson going to do? Let's see. And a little miscommunication by Dixon and Wilson, but luckily there was no linebacker in the area. And as you see last week, Ed Dickson had 83 yards on 6 catches in the victory against Dallas. Let's see what happens right here. And right there, nice pursuit by the defensive back right there, Jamar Taylor, coming in on Tyler Lockett very quickly. It was a fake screen wheel, and I think the Cardinals were going blitz no matter what. Second and 11 now, Rashad Penny. He is going to do just enough to get the first down, and we are going to end the first quarter like that. It's 7-0 Arizona after the blocked field goal that went back for a touchdown. Seattle not liking how things are going. They may want to make some adjustments. It's crazy because we haven't seen Seattle's defense in the game yet. As you see, Doug Baldwin finally gets a catch underneath, and it looks like Tyler Lockett got injured on the other side. That is bad news for Seattle. Now Brandon Marshall checks back in, and the third receiver will be Jerron Brown, who is very familiar with Arizona. We can see if we can use that as a possible mismatch. As Rashad Penny now gets 30 yards on the day, it's 3rd and 2. Lockett not going to be able to return, but a dislocated elbow. That is unfortunate news. 3rd and 2 now. CJ Procise in the game. Jerron Brown is in as well. 3rd and 2. They're going to hike it. Procise. Nice catch. Patrick Peterson didn't close in time, but nice catch right there. Russell Wilson completing 8 passes in a row. What you want to see out of your quarterback. 1st and 10 right here. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Lance, yes it is. Oh, an incomplete pass. Almost picked off right there a couple of times. Looking for Doug Baldwin. He only has that 1 catch on the day. It looks like Patrick Peterson is doing his job, man. Just making sure he doesn't get the football. And look at that matchup right there. Everywhere Doug Baldwin is, Patrick Peterson is right there. So 2nd and 10. Wilson just going to scramble out. And he sees Malaluga, and he's just going to... It is 3rd and inches, however. Third and inches. Let's see what happens on this play right here. Trips right. Doug Baldwin by himself against Patrick Peterson. And there's Will Dissly as he is going to spin out of bounds. Moving the chains of a gain of 5 right there for Dissly. Dissly, the backup tight end, drafted in the 4th round, I believe. The 4th or the 6th round. I'll have to look at that. But here's Chris Carson, who just runs over Buchanan, gaining 5 yards, not without falling, of course. It's going to be trips right again, this time with 2 tight ends, Dissly and Dixon. And it's a fake to Marshall. They're going to throw it to Penny, and I believe he gets enough for the first down, brought down by Buchanan, who seems to be everywhere, man, with that speed and the versatility to cover and rush the passer. He has 6 tackles on the day. And here the Seahawks are again. Similar territory. Carson saw the end zone for a moment, but it immediately closes up thanks to Hassan Reddick and Anton Bethea. Man, the end zone looked nice for a second, but looks like he's going back to the sideline. And there's Brandon Marshall. He just made it look easy against Budda Baker, didn't he? The score right now could be 10-0, but Budda Baker, the same guy who costed them their 3, they go back at him against Brandon Marshall. Or with Brandon Marshall going against Budda Baker. Classic fade route, just throwing it to the bigger receiver. Depending on the extra point, we got ourselves a tied football game, and I think it's safe to say we're all tied up. And now we get to see the Seattle Seahawks defense. It's been a long time since we've seen them. Sebastian Janikowski going to kick it away right here, and Looks like Christian Kirk is back to receive it. We actually did see the Seahawks defense earlier in the game because we kicked it off, but I just feel like it's been so long, since we've seen them. It literally feels like it's been a long time. But obviously the opening kickoff did go to them. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the gameplay, enjoying this weird commentary. I've been all over the place today. I am trying to get better from feeling sick. As you see, Fitzgerald, no days off for him. Justin Coleman is there on the tackle. Bradford, that's his third pass attempt in the entire game. Goes to show you how long the Seahawks have had the football. Trips right, Larry Fitzgerald being covered by Byron Maxwell. And somebody jumped on that line again. We'll have to figure out what it is. And it is going to be encroachment on the defense. It's against Nazir Jones, the defensive tackle. And it's going to be 1st and 5 now. We are looking at 3 tight ends, 1 receiver. Got Earl Thomas in the box. Alexander creeping in as well. David Johnson meets Bobby Wagner. Look at Alexander got flipped over by Barkevius Mingo, his own teammate, just trying to tackle the guy right there. Second and 3 now. Bradford in shotgun formation with David Johnson. He hikes the football. He finds Holmes underneath, the 3rd string tight end, who I believe will be filling in for Jermaine Gresham. I haven't really seen much of him. Haven't heard his name. Haven't seen him. Yeah, he's injured because I have not seen him at all. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, but it still trips right. And, Earl Thomas gets ran over, but not without bringing down David Johnson. Big play right there. You see 2 playmakers like that going head up, you want to know who wins. That time it looks like David Johnson did. Bradford going to hike it again. He throws it underneath the Fitzgerald. He's brought down on the play by Bobby Wagner. And the Cardinals, man, they look like they're ready to score. This could be a potential scoring drive for them. As we close in on the 2-minute warning, and there's Bryce Butler, who is actually being demoted to 4th receiver. He was the 2nd receiver entering the year. That just goes to show you that the scouting report hasn't been accurate. 2-minute warning as David Johnson loses 2 yards right there, brought down by Frank Clark, one of our 2 defensive captains. Three tight end, 1 receiver. Bradford back in the pocket. He's brought down by Barkevius Mingo, who just ran through Andre Smith to get the Sam Bradford right there. Same formation, except Johnson's on the opposite side. Bradford going to hike it again. And he is going to be brought down on the play right there from Maxwell. And the Seahawks are going to call a quick timeout right here to save them enough time to get a drive going before they receive the ball in the second half, them being Seattle. Kick is up, and the kick is good. A nice little 35-yard chip shot right there. A little bit longer than the extra points today, but hey, it was nothing. Andy Lee back to kick it. Rashad Penny back to receive it. He's just going to call for a fair catch. No big deal right there. Russell Wilson and company back on the field, and same old, man. Patrick Peterson is just following Doug Baldwin. And there is Jerron Brown. I don't know if he finished the whole process of the catch because, I mean, like, he kept his feet in bounds and stuff, but it got knocked away, so they're going to count it. I don't know, man. That's one that you got to question. Brandon Marshall underneath Nice little juke movies brought down by Patrick Peterson. And they're going to keep moving the chains right here. Good stuff. Going to keep Procise out there, and the pocket collapses, and Marcus Golden gets another sack. And it looks like Baldwin's going to line up like a tight end. Interesting strategy. And Wilson going to change the play real quick, and wasting a lot of time right here, and they're just going to call a timeout. I think Wilson tried to get the ball hiked as soon as possible, but miscommunication right there by the center. Something you don't really see a whole lot. Justin Britt and Doug Baldwin and everyone just trying to communicate didn't work out well, and because of that, it is 2nd and 14, and Golden again. 2 sacks on this drive, his 3rd on the game. Will we see an Adrian Claiborne performance? You're going to have to stay tuned for that one. 3rd and 18. And Brandon Marshall, he throws it up, and Ray Malaluga gets the pick. And Arizona now at 14 seconds. They're going to try to make something happen right here. Bunch formation. Sam Bradford is in shotgun, of course. Fitzgerald lined up in the slot, and here we go. Let's see what happens. And Seals Jones gets a big catch. And they can at least try to go for the end zone or settle for 3. We'll have to see what the strategy is for the Arizona Cardinals. Trips right, it's Fitzgerald versus Byron Maxwell over there on the left side of your screen. Bradford hiking the football, and the pass is batted away by Bobby Wagner. Trying to get some additional yards right there to make it an easier kick. But it will be a 49-yard field goal. And we'll have to see if this guy has the leg to do it. I'm pretty sure he does, but just got to throw the narrative out there, and the kick is up. And it actually doesn't go in, bizarrely enough. Interesting turn of events. It actually doesn't go in there. That's concerning. I thought it would. You just think 49-yarders, you know, the pros should be able to hit that. Wilson gonna heave it up one more time, and he's just heaving it up at this point, and it's almost picked off. Darbo had a good shot at it. And that's going to take us straight to halftime. And what do you know? We're back. What do you know? It is now 10-7 Arizona. Could have easily been 10-7 the other way. Rashad Penny now going to bring it out of the end zone. And he's at the 30-yard line again. Pretty consistent with getting to the 30-yard line, huh? What's going on with that? Chris Carson is back on the field. We'll have to see what these guys can do on offenses. Vanett is in motion, the 3rd tight end, and Carson is brought down by Chandler Jones. Carson has had some carries in this game. He's had a lot of touches. You got to keep your running backs happy, man. Procise is checking into the game. He's going to be the slot receiver in the trip formation, and Russell Wilson going to slide. It looked like he got flattened, but it's just the animation right there. He actually didn't. On the bottom of the screen, I did see that the Rams are 0-4, and it's hard to believe with all that talent and good coaching that they're actually 0-4. Maybe with them struggling, and maybe a win here against the Cardinals could determine some tiebreakers moving forward. Maybe Seattle does sneak into the playoffs if the Rams continue to struggle like this. I mean, let's not forget the Chargers also started out 0-4 last season, and they almost made it to the postseason. They finished their year winning 6 out of 7. They were one of the hottest teams in the NFL last year towards the end of the year. So anything's possible here, but with the early struggles of the Rams, who knows? maybe Seattle can take the early edge, the early lead, whatever you want to call it, with a win here against the Cardinals. But it's not looking good as we are in a 3rd and 5 situation. And Wilson's just going to take off again. He's going to get out of bounds, chased down by Patrick Peterson. Russell Wilson having to move around again. His offensive line just isn't good. And you're facing 2 fast pass rushers in Chandler Jones and Marcus Golden. You're asking a lot out of these tackles who... Dwayne Brown is a little older. He's out of his prime. But the right tackle situation isn't good. It's not where you want it to be. We have like a 69, 68 overall playing there, and that's not what you want to see. They've been able to run the ball a little bit, however. This is a good run-blocking offensive line, but pass blocking, they're just not athletic enough. And Penny's going to make a guy miss, but he gets shoestring tackled by Josh Bynes. Penny looked like it was a promising run. It could have been a touchdown. But right there, Josh Bynes with the instincts. And Chris Carson is back in the game after that long run from Penny. And Carson just going to run it up the gut. And he gets met immediately by the defense. 2nd and 9 right here. And CJ Prosise now in. So one play for one guy, another for the other. And CJ Prosise now in the game. And they're going to throw it to him. And probably should have gave him a little bit more than that. But -2 yards. Really, he lost 3, but you know how this game is. So now he's only at 1 yard receiving, but he is going to come back onto the field for 3rd and 12. We'll have to see what the play is going to be. And Wilson just going to run with it. And he is going to be placed down by Bethea after the slide. It's been a lot of runs for Russell Wilson, but hey, if it works, man. You just got to do what you got to do to get the first down sometimes. Carson is back on the field after taking a few plays off. Chris Carson going to run up the gut. He is met immediately by Hassan Reddick, who gets his first tackle on the game. So a gain of nothing. Rashad Penny finally back in the game. We'll have to see what the play will be for him. And batted away right there from Budda Baker. He was spying underneath, and Justin Britt, the center, goes down for Seattle. 2nd major injury for the team, which means a new center is coming in, which means 3rd down, which means bad news potentially. Penny gonna motion out as a receiver, and they're gonna hike the football, and Brandon Marshall in the back of the end zone, his 2nd touchdown on the day. He is getting a lot of touches and a lot of receptions due to Tyler Lockett's injury. So it's like addition by subtraction. You get Brandon Marshall, who is coming up big in this game, but however, you lose Tyler Lockett, who was turning into a deep threat before our very eyes. So kind of sucks right there. Bruised ribs, the risk is high. We'll just keep in Hunt for now. You know, we don't want to risk a long-term injury. So Britt, you can just chill on the sideline for a little bit as Seabass kicks it off to Christian Kirk, and probably the same deal. He's just going to kneel, accidentally rhyming. So, 3rd quarter, about 3.5 minutes to go. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying, like I said. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. Alexander, the lone safety back there. It's a counter run to Johnson. He's brought down by Nazir Jones. There is a flag on the play. We're going to have to see what the flag is. And it looks like it's going to be holding on the offense right there. It is 1st and 20 now after Holmes with the hold right there. You honestly have to hate that as an NFL lineman. You know, like you get called for holding, and the running back didn't even gain positive yards anyway. So it's like your hold did nothing. But David Johnson right there running through Nazir Jones, but Maurice Alexander there to clean it up. 2nd and 19 now after the 1 yard gain. It looks like they have a mini bunch right there with Kirk and Butler. So 4 receivers are in. Now Nelson completes the bunch by motioning out, and Nelson going to catch the ball over there by Shaquille Griffin's side of the field. Shaquille Griffin, obviously the brother of Shaquem Griffin, who has been a one-handed beast for the Seahawks. Hasn't really found a whole lot of playing time on the field, but he's definitely made a big impression for this team. And Bradford is just going to throw that out of bounds. It looks like he was looking for J.J. Nelson. Griffin's actually been having a good game. He hasn't covered Fitzgerald. He kind of just fills in the Richard Sherman role, but obviously he's no Richard Sherman, where he just plays the left side of the field. And whoever's lined up there, that's just who he faces. So he saw J.J. Nelson. He's seen some Christian Kirk, a little bit of Bryce Butler. Hasn't gotten the matchup against Larry Fitzgerald yet. And Rashad Penny filling in for Tyler Lockett as the punt returner, as you see him just kind of looking funny right there in the face of the people. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Penny is going to come back onto the field. And with 1:58 to go, let's see what these guys can do in the third quarter. And Penny, he is going to be brought down by Taylor. 9 rushes for Rashad Penny for a gain of 58. So he's having a decent day for sure. I mean, they use a lot of different running backs, so getting 58 is good. So we're going to have to see what these guys can continue to do. Here we go again. Rashad Penny, he is going to be brought down on the play by Deon Buchanan. Howard, my fault. I couldn't think of his first name, that's why I didn't say it. For that one person that tries to correct me in the comment section. 3 receivers, 1 tight end. CJ Procise is now the running back. And there's Procise getting away from Ray Malaluga, who just doesn't have the speed to keep up with CJ Procise. Nice play from him underneath. And it looks like we could be looking at a play action. It's trips right with receivers. Interesting formation, and Jerron Brown gets a quick catch right there, but he loses some yards. Or actually, he just gets nothing. And that is going to be the third quarter right here. Let's see what happens in the fourth. It's been a very exciting game right here for Seattle, and the winner of this gets the edge in the NFC West. And Seattle, I will say this, the team may not be as talented as like the Rams or the 49ers or the Cardinals, but they have one thing that the other teams don't: a head coach with experience. Steve Wilks, a first-year coach. Kyle Shanahan, a second-year head coach. Sean McVay, a second-year head coach. Pete Carroll's been doing this for a long time. So experience has to come in eventually. And Will Dissly on 3rd and 5 going to pick up the yardage. And a big injury now for the Cardinals. Deon Buchanan is hurt. Deon Buchanan leading their team in tackles. And I assume he was a top 5 leader in tackles because he came in with a insane number. As you see, Rashad Penny just going to come out of the backfield with a nice little pass right there from Russell Wilson. He picks up a first down. 2 receptions for him. Chris Carson is now back into the game. With Deon Buchanan out, we'll see if he can get a little speed burst. And Carson brought down on the play by Budda Baker, but he gets 7 yards right there. Carson, really the guy for the tough runs right there, averaging almost 3.5 yards a carry. That's solid yards right there. That means, you know, you run the ball 3 times, you're getting a first down. That's what you want to hear. 2nd and 6. CJ Procise again underneath. He is going to pick up 4 yards right there, so it's going to mean 3rd down for him. 3rd and 2. It looks like they may try to run for the first down. Normally you see Seattle either pass or scramble with Wilson. They're just going to run the football, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. It's 4th and inches. They're going to go for the field goal again. We all remember what happened last time they went for a field goal. This time, Seabass makes it. So it's a 1-score game. The Cardinals offense is going to have to do something. Sam Bradford, you're now on the clock. The offense only has 3 points. Special teams has the other 7 as Christian Kirk. He is not going to take it out. He's just going to stay in the back. Shaquille Griffin is now going to be facing Larry Fitzgerald. That's going to be a tough matchup right there. As you see, Seals Jones, he's going to be brought down by Griffin as we speak of him. Bradford, a nice little throw underneath for 6 yards. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. Griffin now going to be covering J.J. Nelson. Bradford going to motion Holmes. And it's going to be a handoff to Johnson, each met by Maurice Alexander. And there's another injury for the Cardinals. It's Mike Iupati, the former 49ers guard, now playing for the Cardinals. Hopefully he is cleared to come back into this game. It's 3rd and 3. Let's see what the play call is going to be. Bradford, he's going to motion Fitzgerald into the slot, and it's going to be a handoff to David Johnson. And a missed tackle right there by Earl Thomas, but Bobby Wagner's there to hit him. Not without getting the first down, of course. And here we go again. Nice little mini bunch right there with Nelson and Fitzgerald on the other side. Bradford is going to throw it. He just overthrows Seals Jones, who had a step. And now Justin Pugh gets injured for the Cardinals. Another impactful offensive lineman. So 2 backup linemen. Can the Seahawks get some pressure or what? That's the big question. Bradford gonna throw it to Holmes, who just got open. And now DJ Humphries goes down. 3 linemen go down in the span of 3 plays. And the Seahawks aren't getting any pressure. Their edge presence just isn't doing good. Frank Clark is the captain. He's doing good in the run. But you got to get some pressure now that you're against the backup tackles, you know? Gonna have to improve in that area. 2nd and 10. I mean, you got 3 backup linemen out there. You got to get some pressure, guys. But it's 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line. Sam Bradford gonna hike the football. Here he is going through his progressions. Throws it underneath to David Johnson, who was brought down by multiple Seahawks defenders just outside of the red zone. Earl Thomas now going to be covering Christian Kirk as the nickel corner. As you see, the box is heavy. Bradford going to call a play-action play. And Fitzgerald catches it, but it's out of bounds. Coleman was in coverage right there, just not tall enough to compete with Fitzgerald. And Arizona's going to challenge it. In the crucial part of the game, I don't know why they're challenging it. I mean, yeah, he caught it, but it looks... I don't know, man. I don't know what they're challenging. Yeah, that was a dumb challenge by the computer. A dumb challenge by Arizona and Steve Wilkes. Yeah, he had possession, but his feet wasn't in balance. Like, hello? They may have just costed themselves the game. Bradford gonna hike it again. He's gonna go underneath, but he overthrows J.J. Nelson. Seattle doing a good job defensively. My only gripe is they're not getting any pressure. 3rd and 10 now. Bradford gonna hike it again. Rolls out. And a touchdown by J.J. Nelson. Griffin just didn't have the speed to keep up. A pro football focused darling. Not doing good out here on the field. Gives up a big touchdown in a crucial part of the game. Now it's 17-all. And now Andy Lee gonna kick the football off to Rashad Penny. Gonna have to see what he does on this play. And Penny had an opening for a second, but started getting his foot off the gas, he's going to get to the 39-yard line. He let his foot off the gas a little bit, and it caused him to slow down right there, and that's not what you want to see. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and Russell Wilson and company going to come out and throw. Gets about 4 yards right there, brought down by Patrick Peterson. CJ Procise in the game. He is going to get his first carry, and he probably will regret it because he gets nothing. Chandler Jones there to clean it up. Might as well just say he lost the yard. Procise is back in the game, however, we'll have to see what he does on this play. He's going to be in pass protection. It's 3rd and 7, and Wilson's just going to take off again. The Cardinals, man, they gotta have somebody contain Wilson. They're able to get pressure in the pocket. It's able to collapse on him, but he's just taking the nearest gap and he's just hitting the hole. You gotta have a spy there to occupy Russell Wilson, and especially down the late stretch, you're gonna need that guy. You're gonna need him more than ever. And Trey Madden right there, incomplete pass. Going to result in 2nd and 10. CJ Procise back in the game. And Procise gets a 2nd carry. He's going to get 6 yards on the play. 3rd and 4. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 4. They are in an awkward situation right here where they can't necessarily, kick the long field goal because Seabass has not been accurate this year, but they could use a 1st down. And Brandon Marshall can't hang on. The short veteran could not hang on to the ball right there. It's broken up by Jamar Taylor. And they are in an awkward situation. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to punt the football. I don't think the computer's telling them to punt it, but you might need to. There we go. They get the punt team out there, and Michael Dixon going to punt it away. A nice little pooch kick. Gonna put him back at the 7-yard line. Nice punt from Dixon. Fairly executed. Sebastian Janikowski. I know it's a questionable decision, but you can't trust his leg because he's missed a lot of big kicks this season. He's missed a lot of field goals. You just can't trust it. And it's almost picked off right there by Wagner. If he gets in better position, it's a pick 6. Like, forget about it. Sam Bradford again. Here we go. 2nd down. The beaten up Cardinals. Let's see what they can do right there. Big play right there from Maxwell. Turns around and breaks it up. Seattle putting a lot of faith in their defense for the final drive. We'll see if the risk pays off. You got Fitzgerald now working in the slot against Coleman. Holmes is in motion. It looks like they're just going to try to run the football, and Seattle going to call a timeout. The defense didn't give up any yards on the 3 plays. High risk. Will they get the high reward? They just need to score to win this football game. If they can score and just hold Seattle or hold Arizona again, they probably got this game in the bag. Towards midfield, it's going to be at Seattle's 48. That's where they're going to be having the ball. 1.5 to go. Let's see what the coach has. It's going to be 5 wide again. CJ Procise is going to be in as an additional receiver. They're just going to throw it underneath the Brandon Marshall, who's been having a pretty damn good game. He has 2 touchdowns in this one as well. Just getting it done out there. That's what you want to see. CJ Prosise back again for some more. He's been getting a lot of the second half snaps. He's going to pick up the first down. The Seahawks don't really look concerned with calling a timeout. They're really just trying to push the tempo. They're trying to get the ball up the field to get Seabass in a better position. Got to be careful. Read the coverage. Big hit right there. And now Russell Wilson and company are going to draw up a different play. 2nd and 9 right here. 30 seconds to go. And Wilson just going to scramble out of bounds. Brought down by Patrick Peterson. And Wilson, nice run right there. I think he'll do the job right there. Getting him in field goal position. Experienced teams are going to do experienced things. We'll see what Chris Carson can do on this one. Another carry for him. And now we wait for the clock to wind down to about maybe 3 seconds. You don't want to give Arizona a chance to score. So what you do is you kind of wait it out a bit. Now you call the timeout. And there's Sebastian Janikowski in Arizona. Takes a timeout. Trying to ice the kicker. And here's Sebastian Janikowski. For the win! Got it! The Seahawks hang on again. The most resilient football club in the NFL. Steve Wilkes with a great play call right there to try to ice the kicker. Sebastian Janikowski, who is experienced, they risked it all, remember. They punted the football, and there's the 3rd down stuff right there. Brandon Marshall with 2 touchdown catches in this one. A very balanced attack right here from Seattle. They didn't really throw it that well. It was a lot of underneath stuff. Seattle didn't even get any takeaways. They just simply kept the team off the field. Thank you guys for watching, though. And the game ball is going to go to Brandon Marshall. 5 catches, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and peace. Alright, nice win right there. We are now 4-0 on the season. Couple of blowout games against Dallas and the Broncos, and a couple of close games like Chicago. Jaron Reed, what happened is he got a skill point, so we were able to give him the run stopper chemistry, or not chemistry, but player archetype. And then for Dante Johnson, he actually goes up to a 74 overall. Those are the 2 players with skill points after the game or whatever. Now here we are, Earl Thomas and contract negotiations. So Earl Thomas, last time I gave him a 2-year deal. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal. And I'm going to up his money. So we're going to give him 8.5 and 3.25. So we'll see if he takes this. Everything about the offer needs improvement. So he wants the 4-year deal. I even offered him more money. As for KJ Wright and these guys, we're going to kind of leave it alone for a bit. This is really about Earl Thomas. In real life, he's back with the Seahawks, but for right now, it's just going to be offers submitted. We'll go ahead and show you guys the draft board and who I've scouted. Actually, I prioritized this other right tackle. We've mainly been looking at offensive linemen throughout this process. I think now we're going to venture out and try to look at other positions as well. I don't really look at tight ends a whole lot, but I've never really scouted a tight end either. But we're about to find out what they look like. Alright, so decent tight end right there in DJ Swanson. Could be an option to look at in the 5th round. At guard, yeah, it's a crazy list. There's only first round prospects. Right guard, I'm going to look at a couple today. Look at this guy. This guy is an elite run blocker. You can see it right there. And in the third round, very easy. I got to tell you, it was very easy to see the talent in both of these guys right here. Ha ha ha, puns. So, right tackle. We only looked at a couple, mainly the guys that fit our scheme, but we are going to look at the 5th and 6th rounder. A very good impact blocker, and he has good footwork, so that's good to know. And Kazim Callaway. Undrafted. I do like the run blocking potential, but what it tells me is he's going to be a very bad pass blocker. So he's going to be like a mauler. At defensive tackle, I like to strengthen the strength, but I don't think we're going to look there. We're going to try to look around for positions that only, you know, like the first point is like 11 to unlock. So we're going to try to look for that position. Yeah, and it's going to be quarterback. We don't need a quarterback per se, but I do want to look at this 4th rounder just for the hell of it out of Texas A&M. So he's a 5th round prospect. I'd probably throw him on here just for a backup per se. But do you want to waste a pick on a backup, or do you just want to sign one out of free agency? That's the real question. That's going to be it for scouting. We are projected to have the 25th pick as of right now. But hopefully you guys enjoy, and next week we'll be taking on the Rams, who are loaded. Maybe they get their first win against us. 3 weeks out for Tyler Lockett, and we still have another month to go without J.D. McKissic. But hopefully you guys do enjoy, and we'll see you around for the next one.